Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. It's great to see you. It's great to have you here. Let us start by introducing ourselves. Let's start with Sarah.
I'm Sarah. I'm one of the co-owners of Alluring Events and Design. I've always been creative and had a passion for art. Initially, I wanted to go to school for cosmetology, but decided that I like makeup more. So I've actually been a certified makeup artist since 2017. And growing up, I've planned many different events for friends and family, starting out in even in high school. A passion for all the details and being able to see kind of what the details coming together seamlessly is what I enjoy.
Well, that's great. And at some point, Chris came along.
I'm Chris, and I am the other co-owner of Alluring Events and Design. I started doing weddings over 10 years ago for family and friends. And in 2017, I met Sarah, and we both found that we had a passion for the same thing and decided to join forces. So we've been doing this for about 8.5 years or so. And now we are growing that into not just the weddings, but also, as you can see, the wedding fairs. And when we decided to make that expansion, we added Kyle to the mix and started including him. And Kyle, you want to tell about yourself?
Yeah, so a little bit about me. You've obviously anyone listening to this has spotted my accent by now. I came into America about 2 years ago and realized that I needed to work. And my choice of profession was photo booths. I saw a lot of them on TikTok and saw how popular they were. And I thought, oh, I'd like a bit of that. Not realizing, of course, I was giving my weekends away. What that opportunity gave me was to fall into an industry that I don't think most people realize that this is a very nice industry to be in. You get to see people at happiest point in their lives. I'm quite outgoing. I enjoy being around people and I genuinely love what I do. But then, yeah, those almost 2 years ago, almost to the day, just so you know, was that first phone call when I picked up the phone to Alluring Events and said, "Hey, have you got any work? I'm starting a business." And
I
that
remember
was,
that.
yes. I remember you were loading tables into the back of a truck at a time. I remember hearing it down the phone. For me, it was a perfect opportunity because what we didn't realize is that we were on a really nice path to continue doing what we loved, and that led us very nicely then. As a team into wedding fairs, we each have a very different strength, and those strengths really came into play when we started to do the wedding fairs because the wedding fairs, what we noticed, I'm sure you remember that time where we both ended up in one particular event and only 9 people walked through the door. And I spoke to one person, and what we realized was is that this thing was a massive cash grab. And the vendors are not getting value for money. So we kind of decided to do it ourselves. We thought, well, you're an event organizer. I know a lot of vendors. Why don't we do it ourselves? And I think we've enjoyed some relative success. I'm sure you'd agree.
I would absolutely agree that we have. And I think based on where we've come from and where we can head to, we can take this business to a bigger level, more vendors and more brides in bigger cities.
Last time I looked at our email list, we had something in the region of 750 different brides' emails address on there.
We've spent a lot of time with the marketing, and I
Yeah.
think in any business, no matter whether it's our alluring events or Heartland Wedding Fair or your Boo Boo booth, that requires marketing of all sorts. And if you're not doing that, then your business is not going to grow.
Those that know us actually think that I do the design work. I don't. I can't draw a stick, man. The design artist amongst us is actually Sarah, as you.
I just like being able to do different ads for different things. Each one is kind of like a unique art project for me, and just being able to collaborate, bounce the ideas off you guys. I think we just really work well together. I do a lot of the design work, but then sending it to you guys and then you guys giving your feedback, I think that we make some great art and we do some great work together. So just collaborating. And you had talked about our first show and even the vendors as I was walking around after the show talking to them, some of the feedback, that's what's different about us. We want to really get to build this community of vendors to really be worth it for the brides to show up. And when I was telling some of these vendors this was our first show, they were just floored, completely blown away because they're like, we've been to so many other wedding shows and didn't even have half of this many people show up. So that's something that just kind of we try to be different. We try and help people move forward. It's not just about money for us. We truly genuinely want to help out both the brides and the vendors. So
It's making sure that the brides are getting to the vendors that they need and being able to find all of the different pieces that go into building their wedding to make it their perfect day.
Actually, I'm going to pick up on both of your points there because that bride that came to us that time that had a particular problem with one of the vendors that we had at our show. Now, full transparency here, if we have anyone that has any real negative feedback against them, we won't put them in our shows. We have to have a very awkward conversation when people come to us and they're, 3 stars or less. We will have to go and say, look, you can't come to this show, I'm afraid, and come back, next year when you can go and fix it or go and talk to these clients that are unhappy. And we had one particular vendor that was booked, ready to go, and they had this really unhappy bride that I mean, it was a shame that it was just the one, but they were doing the vendor was doing things that were particularly unpleasant, I think I would say. So we had to step in. We had to be very honest with the vendor and say, it's sad that this has happened. Is there a way you can fix it? And us three had to stand between bride and vendor and be almost a mediator. Now, the nice end of that story is that both of them walked away from it happy. The vendor did end up coming to our show, but that is the caliber of vendors that we have. We've worked very, very hard to make sure that we're only getting the best. And you particularly, Chris, the tricks you've managed to pull out your sleeve with the different vendors that you know, it, every time we do these, it just amazes me.
It's all about figuring out what it is that the vendor needs at the fair to make it worth them coming. And I think based on what we've done with the quality and quantity of brides that we get or I think a lot of the vendors have found that they are getting good leads from each of those shows. And that's important. It's important to them and it's important to us.
Mm.
We want to make sure that those vendors are getting a return on their investment by joining us at these bridal shows. I think we've done a good job at that.
We don't take that lightly. They're trusted vendors because essentially they're an extension of us. So I wouldn't want to hire anybody unless and send them as a referral to anybody unless I know that you're going to be in good hands
Yeah.
because your wedding day, you put so much time and energy into that to have one vendor mess all of that up or not have a negative time, essentially even thinking about a wedding that we were a part of. We were just hired for the day of coordination, and it was a last minute thing that they hired us. And the DJ, he was younger, just out of high school, and was playing some crazy music that just didn't connect with the people. That for me really made me think this is why this is important for
Mm.
us to make sure we know who we're sending to them because something as simple as just a DJ that doesn't connect with, and that's one of the things with Chris and I too, is that I will straight up tell people if you want a cookie cutter wedding, I'm not the one for you.
Right.
We aren't the one for you because I want to get to know you as a person. We want to get to know you as a couple so we can make this all about you. Are there certain traditions? Are there certain different cultural elements that we can include into the wedding? Because at the end of the day, we're celebrating you guys as a couple. And that's what we really want to help bring out in the weddings that we help coordinate and being a part of. And
You guys are quite proud of the weddings that you do as well. I mean, I've seen
Yes,
quite a few of them
definitely.
now. They're absolutely beautiful. Well, I think that probably draws this introduction to a close. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.